What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Man Card Podcast Friday episode, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Man Check Friday evening, 5 p.m. Just weekly check-in to see how, personally we're doing on our journey to manhood, and how we can do better and holding each other accountable, and honestly just shooting the breeze, telling stories, catching up. So, Evans, how you doing, man?
Good. I think I'm doing great right now.
Doing great. Feeling better from yesterday.
So we just did your bachelor weekend.
Correct.
We just had it, and this is what is today? Sunday.
Today is Sunday.
Today's Sunday. Yeah. So we just got through it. Had a bit of a rough morning this morning.
Yes.
As non-alcoholic drinks only. So
yeah.
it was,
Only
it
non-alcoholic.
was from that
beer.
orange juice we had yesterday.
It was orange juice for sure.
But I'm doing great. I just had a great weekend. I've had a great day with you today.
Oh my gosh, it was so relaxing today.
Yeah, it was exactly what I needed.
Because I know we were talking about this earlier, just when we were eating dinner, but coming into this weekend, the anticipation of it was really, really high. Like we were both really excited for what was going to happen, who was going to be here, how much fun that was going to be. So that build-up period was really special.
Oh yeah.
And then once the weekend actually arrived, when we got here and kind of got settled in, then it started to get more real. And I was like, okay, this is happening. People started to arrive. They were just as jazzed about it as I was and as you were.
Oh yeah.
And
they showed up with some alcohol.
It's funny. So I have really good friends, to say the least. And so when it comes to coming to events with each other, when one of us says, hey, we've got it covered, I'll get the beer, I'll get some of the liquor, don't even worry about it. The other guys, out of nobility and honor, can't show up empty-handed.
Agreed with that.
And so I don't know so last night I did an episode, it's coming out very soon, probably next week, but it's Man Card After Dark. And so we did a podcast, we had a couple, I had a rum neat, and I think they had some whiskey neats.
Mm-hmm. This is the one late last night, right?
Late last night. So we recorded it late last night. It was John. That would be, I think.
Love John.
Love John. I think that's the third time you'll have him on the show. He's always a great person to have on. I was looking back at some of the footage before we started recording. That man was falling asleep, dude.
I haven't seen it yet, but he was telling me that he was just starting to nod off kind of at the end there.
Yeah, when I post it next week, be on the lookout. Not like I'm putting John on blast. It's just the reality of the situation. Just look for this right here. This little eye droop. Oh, and then come back up. And you'll notice periodically throughout the recording, I end up oh, Parker. Oh, so John, come back into the conversation.
John, wake up, John.
And we were passing a mic between them, so I hope the audio worked out. I think it did. I was just listening to it, and it sounded pretty good.
Yeah. And in John's defense, it was very late. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was probably
I mean, I was asleep on the chair.
Yes.
Right behind the camera.
Yeah. For the first quarter of the show, I thought Gavin and Evans were here sitting there actively listening, engaged. Nope. I look over again about maybe 10 minutes later. Both of them are dead asleep on the chair and couch.
I think earlier in the night, I walked straight to the chair and fell asleep, I think probably before I hit the chair.
Yes.
And thankfully you grabbed a cup out of my hand.
Yeah, so you had your drink in your hand, and you fell asleep with it in your hand. And usually when you fall asleep with something like that in your hand, it usually tips and spills and wakes you up.
Mm-hmm.
You were locked in, brother. You were locked in. That shit was not
right
moving. And so then I came over and I actually popped it out of your hand, and your hand, you were asleep and it didn't move. It was still in the shape of the cup that you were holding, but it was grip tight on nothing. It was
That's awesome.
Yeah, so last night we recorded that. That'll come out next week, so be on the lookout for that. And we also recorded another episode down on the dock, and that was really, really fun. But, of course, the show is not without its technical difficulties. So about halfway through, of course, when you do something new, you're inevitably going to come upon problems that you had previously not known about. And this new problem was this attachment for this microphone is not the greatest. So in the process of us holding the mics, instead of having them on stands and tables out on the dock, it was bumped. Either I bumped it or when I passed it off, it was bumped.
Yep.
And it disconnected from our recording software. And it basically overwrote our previous recording up to that point and rewrote on top of it and only exported the last 10 minutes. Ouch. And I was like, oh my gosh. The last 10 minutes is pretty dope though.
We might just put out maybe the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll look into see if I can fix the audio a little bit because it was a little hot. We were really up close on the mics. So I'll see.
I just think it's Mitchell's fault. He's not here, so
we'll just
blame it on Mitchell.
He's not here and he was in the show, so I'm just going to blame it on him.
Yeah.
It's very easy to cop out and just blame Mitchell all the time. But nevertheless, it's also my fault because we were passing the mics only because I didn't bring the dongle to connect all three to the laptop at once. So we could have all had our own, but
it's all right.
I can't do my job well.
Hey, I mean, we had a lot to focus on.
That's true.
This was the batch weekend.
The batch weekend. So let's dive back into that again. So all the guys got here Friday night. We were all jazzed up, getting onto it. Just give us a little highlight of the weekend, and maybe we got something going on here. I don't know what this is all about.
So basically, we got here on Friday. Me and you were the first ones here. And we're at his uncle's lake house.
Yes.
So thank you, Uncle Chuck.
Thank you, Uncle Chuck. You're amazing.
We got here Friday. Actually got the podcast area set up, or you did.
Yes.
And then the guys started rolling in. What exactly did we do? I think we just hung out on Friday night, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Started playing poker.
Yeah, so Friday night, before we played poker, we did the Who Knows the Groom Best kind of game.
That's right.
And that was fun, dude.
That was fun. That was, it was a little telling. I think I knew most of them, but there were some that I should have known that I did not.
Yes. Well, it was crazy to me to find out that some of the guys knew things that I didn't think they would know. Like Gavin, let's give a big shout out to Gavin, knows the name of my first dog that Evans was like, I think it's this.
I mean, I knew it, but I wasn't sure if you had one when you were 3.
When I was 3 or something.
Or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he didn't know, though. I think he just said that name, didn't he?
He was like, oh, that sounds like a good dog name, Buddy.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, wait, it is Buddy.
That's actually it. Yeah, so very impressed with that. But it was really just a joke, honestly. Like the whole game was just a fun way to not only get to know me a little bit better, but get to know the groomsmen a little bit better. Open up that conversation. We're all here having a fun time. Mm-hmm. There's no restriction on conversation, so we can just enjoy being with each other. And so then we moved from that to low stakes poker. So we had some buy-ins, we got some chips rolling, and
shout out to Mitchell, who I think on a previous podcast was talking about how he can't play poker and
I
is
can't
bad
play
at poker.
I'm so bad.
And that guy was up $40.
Yes.
By the end.
Yeah, I went in $20 and lost $20, and Mitchell went in $10 and walked away with $50.
He was playing us, I think.
I think he was joking. Well, here's the thing, though, because he went in Friday night and was dog shit. Yeah. He was horrible. He was not good. Couldn't read anything. Couldn't put a beat on who was doing what. And then Saturday rolls around, and all of a sudden, this dude turns into a flippin' card shark. I don't know if he hit his head throughout the night.
I don't know.
Or what. But the man turned 180 and flipped on all of us.
I mean, again, I looked over at some point during the night, and he had 8 stacks of this big of chips.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, when did that happen?
Yeah, it's wait, was it the last 10 minutes? Because it really was.
I think it was a few just big hands.
It was a few big hands. And also on Saturday versus Friday, we ended up getting big hands, but multiple people had big hands. So we were running 2 pairs, higher 2 pairs, and then a straight, straights, all in one deal.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you get that kind of thing, it's it's really hard to put a bead on, who's got what, because you, in your mind, have the best hand on average for the night. You're like, oh, this is a pretty good hand for how the night's going. And then somebody rolls in with a straight. And I'm like, oh, full house. It's golly.
It's no.
It's those pocket aces come in handy.
Serious. Actually, I think it was Mitchell who had pocket aces.
He did. I actually got pocket aces too.
Yeah, pocket aces. Jeez.
Yeah. That was one of the last hands that I won.
I was gonna say, you won that one, right?
I did win that one. Yeah.
Okay. And then I think near the end I stole a bit from you.
You did steal. Well, you basically. I went all in, and it was late. I was anticipating doing a rebuy, but we ended up not playing again later Saturday night.
I mean, I was asleep not long after that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
On that seat right there.
On that chair. Oh, what memories! We'll have to sign the guest log. Yeah, make sure we put a nice little sweet note as well. But obviously, we're super grateful, and I think, any situation where you can get all the guys or even friends just in your life together and like appreciate,
and when they mesh well, yeah.
Right. Well, that was my biggest, not concern, but something I was excited to see was like I knew each person individually is amazing, and I loved every single person who was coming, but inevitably when you have worlds collide, oh gosh, is everybody gonna mesh the best?
Yeah.
So
and I guess you just never know.
Yeah.
Just with people and like who's
gonna rub you the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we were talking about earlier. I think this was like a drama-free weekend in a great way.
100% drama-free.
Yeah, I definitely know bachelor groups that have had their share of drama.
Oh yeah. It's like, hey, I was talking to her first.
Yeah. Or I don't know, just like I guess it's when somebody doesn't rub you the right way. And
what would bachelor parties look like with a drama-filled experience? Like, what would that even look like?
Like I would think some sort of incident. I guess I would think with maybe ladies there. Like, not to say that there are ladies there, but if you're out like in a town.
Okay.
I feel like I've heard of that happening.
Oh,
I know it has happened before.
Okay, I was thinking of it in the context of like what we did, which was kind of a weekend lock-in kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I guess if you went to you did like a city pub crawl.
That's what I'm thinking.
And like you had a lot of the guys like hitting on chicks or like all this stuff. Like you could feel. I don't know, probably not, but like you might feel that they're not like in the moment with you. Like they're just kind of like they're just doing their own thing. They're not really there for other guys.
Which isn't what I wanted at all.
No, I definitely wanted everybody to like really focus in on like building those relationships with each other, because like I know my dad is still like some of his best friends are the friends that he had in his wedding, and so that was a big deal for me in choosing.
Uncle Chuck?
Yes,
he was in the wedding?
Yeah, Uncle Chuck was in the wedding.
Shout out to Uncle Chuck.
Uncle Chuck all the way through.
Thank you.
Also, so another thing for the podcast is this is where I proposed to Ellie. So right out on the dock where we were out in these beautiful tank tops. It was also the same location of the beautiful proposal. What wonderful memories. We even looked back in the guest book, and we saw what Ellie and I had put when we came and like thanked them for obviously letting us borrow the house for that really special moment in our lives. Oh man,
I feel like you might need a copy of that.
I know we probably do.
Like photocopy and frame it.
Yes. Yeah, no, definitely do. And I'm curious to see what we're going to put tomorrow when we head out.
Me too.
Because I got off, because this end, so what I was speaking of earlier was the like build up, then, you get to the event, which is like the mountaintop experience, right?
Right.
And then everybody kind of trickles away and leaves. And then you've got, okay, so you're on Mount Everest, and at some point you're going to have to come down. And
explain that one. Like you mean Mount Everest is in like the weekend?
Yeah, the weekend is
Yep.
You've reached the summit of the mountain. Your mountaintop experience. You're having the best time, but at some point, you're gonna have to come down from the weekend. You're gonna come back home, come back to reality. And I found today, and just tomorrow, we're gonna close out the weekend, just you and I. Mm-hmm. And so that to me is even. It's like it rivals the whole weekend as a whole, just in how. Like we can kind of, have the excitement and then go,
yeah,
just like a nice breath, like really have enjoyed what we did.
Oh yeah.
Take these last few days and just like look back, appreciate it, and then get ready to gear back up for reality.
Oh yeah. And definitely not a slight to the guys. Just you got to host, when you have people. Yeah. And it's your uncle's lake house, so you've got to, I guess, pay attention to that.
Yeah, I didn't want.
So it is like nice
just to break. Yeah, just relax.
Yeah, relax.
Like we literally we watched a movie this afternoon. We played cornhole.
I got whooped in cornhole.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Hey, well, yeah, you can come back tomorrow before we leave. We'll play a couple games.
I need to win. One of those.
Hey, maybe in the morning we can go kayaking. We can get up early, go kayaking.
Go kayaking, then cornhole.
Cornhole. Yeah, I like that because I haven't gone kayaking yet.
Ever or this weekend?
No, this weekend.
Okay.
Ellie and I went kayaking when we were here, and it was really
right.
it was really fun.
Yeah, I haven't been on one in 4 years, and I went on one this morning, and it was amazing.
That's fun. The last time I went kayaking was with another buddy of mine named Nick. I've got a lot of friends named Nick. So this is my third friend named Nick, who I worked with a few summers ago. What's up, Nick? Love you, brother. He actually
was this where at?
This is at Jackson and Coker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha, yep.
So I worked with Jackson and Coker with Nick, and he's now up in Washington State, if I'm not mistaken. And he took a job with Stryker.
Okay.
Medical device sales.
Gotcha.
And so he's doing great. So hey, buddy, hey, listen, I'm not saying, just hey, keep me in mind. Keep me in mind.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick, what's up, man? How you doing? Wink, wink. No, but he's a great guy. And the last time I went kayaking was with him. And, just speaking to...
Was that here?
No, it wasn't here. We went to a river, and we did river kayaking. But it was pretty chill. Like, it wasn't like rapids. It was just a normal, just a river.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe some
river.
rapids, but, nothing like...
But you're not like...
No, you're kind of like flowing
through.
down.
Okay.
And so... speaking of keeping friends, I know we talked about this earlier as being kind of a fun topic to talk about, which is like the idea of making sure you retain knowledge about people who you care about, maintain those relationships with people who you care about and friends.
Yeah.
Because it can sometimes get quite daunting with how fast life moves, and it can be very easy for a lot of those relationships to slip to nothing.
And I'm not good at keeping up.
No.
At all.
You're not. Well, that's the thing is I'm bad with you only because I know we don't need to. And you're bad because you're just bad.
I'm just bad. And I really don't like to be on the phone. I mean, to be honest. And I feel like it's a I mean, I guess I don't really think about it, but it's a bit of a commitment to catch up on a call. Like in terms of time wise, and
you and I catch up. Our phone calls are never less than 45 to an hour every time. Yeah. So it's always a big slice of time, and not like that. I don't want to talk to you for that long.
Yeah, it's not.
I'd want to talk to you for longer, but
I honestly just don't want to be on the phone.
Yeah, right.
I really do just like to be with.
Yeah.
Wherever I'm at.
Yeah. So with Nick, when we were out on this river, it was fun because, we were interning at the time. And so it was kind of coming to the close of the internship, and we had become pretty close friends. And so I was like, hey, Nick, you want to come? Or I'm sorry, flip that. He said, Noah, do you want to come with me and go with some of my buddies and we'll go kayaking? And of course, I was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's just go.
You never say no to that.
Yeah, I'd never say no to that. This sounds like a blast. And he's like, great. We've got the seltzers. We've got all the beer. Don't even worry about
seltzers.
Dude, I actually this weekend I pounded some seltzers, dude.
Not a seltzer guy.
Dude, big fan, 100%.
I mean, I'll drink one, but I don't like it.
Big fan. Check them out. They're all really good. Oh,
this isn't an ad placement.
This is not an ad placement, but hey, Smirnoff Red, White, and Blue. If you want to come on the show,
don't you mean Red, White, and Berry?
Oh, that's right. Red, white, and berry. I was going by colors. That's my bad. Not flavors. But so we went out on the river, and Nick got a little schwasty on the river, and if you
had
know
too many seltzers,
a little too many seltzers, and if you know anything about being on water, it's rocky. So that turned from Nick pulling in his kayak, me sitting on a tube, to me in the kayak for the last 80% of the trip.
He was recovering.
Him just throwing up everywhere. It was hilarious.
That's rough.
Because he was fine. He was just chilling, but he was not feeling that great.
Down for the count.
But
so he was just on the tube behind you, and you were pulling him?
We tied a rope because we didn't have enough kayaks. So we got a blow-up tube that I was just going to ride.
Mm.
I was the auxiliary person. I was like, shoot, if you want me to come and be dead weight, I'm in, man. But that shifted to being basically the Nick rescue raft because he could no longer function anymore. So we were like, you know what? Screw it, dude. You just need to go on this raft because you obviously can't move. And then the rest of the trip was it was a long trip. I remember Ellie when we got back was because I didn't have a signal. It's on the river.
Right.
You can't be reached. And
wait, was this a day trip?
Or it was a day trip. Okay. Yeah. So we left probably around I left at 9 a.m. Got back probably around 6, and It was a long. It was we spent much longer on the river than we thought because the river was low, and so it wasn't as fast. So we ended up having to do a ton more paddling than we anticipated, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What, you throwing your stuff on the ground?
Sorry, well, I realized how loud it was when I took a sip
You know,
of
hey,
ice.
we
I shouldn't have done ice.
We love hearing you drink.
I like to hear it too.
I pay admission to hear what you have are drinking. And in our cups tonight, we've got, what is this? Vodka on the rocks?
Yeah, same as me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers.
Sure. Mhm.
On the audio wise, I think I'm doing a lot better this episode
Yes.
than I did last one. I'm going to give myself a little credit because
I'm going to give you an A+.
the last one was rough.
I think it was my fault because I didn't give proper instructions with, what was required to get good audio. And a lot of people, it's funny to me, like they just don't understand like video equipment and audio equipment, or like how sometimes finicky it can be.
I understand dropping them.
Yes. Over the years, you have dropped pretty much all of the things that I own.
Yeah, I don't touch Noah's camera at this point because there was a one slip up.
Oh my
You remember that?
Yes, it was the Steadicam.
Yeah,
right?
the DIY Steadicam we had.
Yeah.
And okay, this is a funny story. So we basically made a little DIY Steadicam.
It was like a shoulder mount, so it went
Yeah.
around your shoulders with weights in the back, and it mounted in the front, and you can kind of like
And it was just PVC.
PVC pipe.
Piping.
So it was cheap. So
Yeah,
if
it
you
was
broke
cheap.
it, it's not a big deal. But
And it's not, that's like unbreakable too.
yes,
So basically the camera's on the front and I've got it in my hand somehow. And it somehow like falls apart or the camera falls off.
I didn't glue all the pieces together.
Okay, that's right.
So the middle portion where the camera stops, like connects to the poles that go over your shoulders, those weren't glued in.
That's
so they
right.
just popped out on your shoulders.
They popped out on my shoulders, and the logic center of my brain told me to grab the Steadicam, meaning grab the PVC and the weights, rather than grab the $2,000 camera.
Yeah.
So,
that
I don't touch
camera-
your camera anymore. I let you do that.
Yeah, that camera is A-okay. It's totally fine. Those cameras can withstand a lot more than we think, but it bit the dust. It straight up smacked the ground.
Yeah,
So I was like,
Yeah, that was a bad Evans moment.
I
A dumbass.
I was
moment.
frustrated, but obviously you can only be frustrated with your best friend for so long. Even if you had broken the camera, I wouldn't have probably cared that much.
I think we would have made amends somehow.
No, we would've figured it out.
We would have been fine.
No, we would have been totally fine. But Ellie, when I was on the river, it was like 6 hours with nothing. She was hearing nothing from me, and so she was quite upset when I got home. She was like,
Right.
"Where the hell have you been? Like, I've not heard from you. No updates.
Oh, did
no
she?
Nothing.
Did she know that you were going?
No,
Or
I
did
told her I was going, but she
Okay,
didn't.
yeah.
She didn't know that it was going to be like
A long day.
long day, and neither did I, frankly. So it surprised me too. Granted, it was a really fun day, super fun day.
Dang right it was.
And by the end,
for you, it sounds like maybe
Yeah.
not for Nick.
no, Nick had a bad day. Also, I got a good workout in though. I was pulling me and the dead weight behind me for like the whole river, but it was fun. It was a really fun time. And at one point, like before he crapped out, we got out and like got on a rope swing, and like it was a really fun time.
That's pretty dope. Like I want over the water.
Yeah, it like
Those are so
swings
much
out.
fun. Remember the one they used to have at Mill Creek,
Oh, at the
Vickery
mill.
Creek? Or
Yeah,
at the mill.
yeah.
And then I think somebody died on it.
What?
I think somebody died on it. They took it out.
Huh?
Or maybe the branch broke or something. They're
something.
like, it's a little bit of a liability, so they
Yeah,
took it
right.
out. Sorry.
Yeah,
Side note.
somebody getting injured on a national park. That doesn't really
You never
bode
want
very
that.
well for funding.
No.
Yeah, it's a pretty park though. That's actually where your eldest brother proposed.
That's true. Obviously, you were there.
I was there. Yeah, so I was asked by him to do the video and photos for that.
You did a great job.
It was
the video
fun.
was so cool because you also did like some prior, like you had Harrison do some prior,
I did.
like videos and stuff to like lead up to the.
Yeah, so I had him do some like little like on his phone, nothing crazy official. Like it's more of like the sentiment than the function of it. So he just on his phone propped it up and then spoke like once a week for probably 4 or 5 weeks, and just gave little updates like, hey, I'm going right now to meet her dad to ask the question, can I marry your daughter? And like I'm a little nervous right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives a little peek behind the curtains of the build up moment, and it was a gift to Hannah to say like, hey.
It was a great gift.
Yes, you get the moment, right, of the ring and the proposal and the knee. But here's this extra thing of like being able to see all that I did to prepare this for you.
And the editing, like the music, like everything about that video was freaking awesome.
Well, it's funny because
also check out Noah Bryant Photography. What is it?
It's
give me the link.
nabphoto.biz.
There it is.
Check that out online. If you need photos done, if you need video done, I have a drone license. Check it out. But it was really just a fun time, like more than anything, because like I love hanging out with Harrison. I love hanging out with Anna. I think they're both really, really fun people. Mm-hmm. Sadly, they're busy for my wedding. But
classic.
I know couldn't make time.
They actually are pretty busy. I'll give them credit.
They're busy people for sure.
I think they like to do stuff and they like to be busy.
Yes, no, they do. I don't blame them at all. I mean, I wasn't invited to their
I
wedding.
blame them.
I mean, I blame them, but I wasn't invited to their wedding, so.
Well, we literally just had the two families.
It was tiny.
Yeah, we literally only had our families there. So.
Yeah. Well, before we go any further, we will throw you to next week's episode because we unfortunately have come to the close of this Friday evening episode. Can you believe it?
That was amazing. That went by quick.
It's so fast, dude. I'm telling you.
Seeing the clock, it's 30 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, it's almost at 30. So, yeah, we got to close this down. But thank you for tuning in to this Friday evening episode of Man Card Podcast. Check out next week's Man Check, same time, same place. And check out Monday's episode coming to you 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. mancardpodcast.com. mancardpod@gmail.com, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.